Hey boys, hey girl. Welcome to Louisiana Cajun Recipes. I ain't done a rant in a while. So we'll go ahead and rant about something fun. Something factual, work related stuff. And I've been a construction worker, a union construction worker all my life. And I'm retired now. And we did plumbing. We were mechanical contractors. We did plumbing, pipe fitting, welding, that sort of thing. Worked in a lot of chemical plants, in other commercial type application or buildings and things, or in and around the state and out of state. So this is going to be a rant. So get the kids out the room. Now, there's going to be adult language in here. It just makes it more fun. I'm going to go get another pop. Stand by. So, we were talking about working in chemical plants, refineries, number one, which here in Baton Rouge they have Exxon Refinery. And I remember I was just a green helper, still in trade school at the local 198 here in Baton Rouge. And we were in there working on the high line. And a refinery is kind of like a still, but they making gasoline and other products, oil, anything, acetone. They make all kind of stuff from crude oil. And some of the stuff that they make can explode just being by exposed to the atmosphere. And we were up on this high line, and it's a lot of pipes going to different parts of the plant. It's like a highway for the process chemicals. Okay? And we were up in there. We were getting ready to make a tie-in on a line that they'd sniffed out and said, okay, it's dead. It's been purged. Go ahead and make your tie-in. And we were kind of scary about it because you could hear other pipes that were up there. This thing was like 3 layers tall and up about, 15 feet off the ground, and we had a scaffold built up underneath. And we were up there cutting torch, welding machine, everything we needed, scaffold boards across the pipes to work off of. And you could hear the other pipes. You could hear hissing and roaring of chemicals flowing through them. And we were up in there, and all of a sudden we heard a kaboom! I mean, loud as shit. It shook the whole high line. We were grabbing on the crap, trying to hang on. Scaffold boards were falling off. And all of a sudden, kaboom, 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 kaboom. All down the road, manhole covers. They're made out of cast iron, and they're heavy as fuck. Well, blowing off the pavement up in the air. Oh shit! I seen one flipping up, fire coming up out the ground and crap. Something happened to a furnace in a cracker, which is where they make the gasoline and diesel fuel and other products like that. And it developed a leak, and it leaked down into the storm drain system, and it caught on fire, and it made an explosion. And there were some people killed. And this was back in the 70s, late 70s. There were some people killed that were working around that unit, that furnace unit. And, man, we looked around, and people were scrambling, running everywhere, and manhole covers, they popped off all over the place, and they coming back down. And them some bitches, oh shit, it's big old cast iron, manhole cover, big heavy manhole cover. They're probably 250, 300 pounds a piece. Thick cast iron, thick enough for 18-wheelers to run over and not bend or hurt. So they coming back down. You got to get up under an I-beam or something serious. They hit the ground, they're going to stick up in concrete and stand straight up if they land like that. Otherwise, they're just going to bounce and flip all over. Had one hit a parked pickup truck, and I mean just crushed the fuck out of it, total the hell out of it. It was good thing there wasn't nobody in it. It looked like it'd been through one of them car crushers. It just bam, smashed it flat, blew the tires out, all the glass out of it. We got to get the hell out of this fucking plant, man. People was jumping in the backs of pickup trucks, and tractors were coming down the road. People were bailing on, grabbing on, hanging on, whatever they could. We had a welding truck out there, and my company bought these 1 ton, what's called chassis cab, and we had the welders take some diamond plate steel and build a bed on it with a big diesel welding machine on it, full-size cut and torch rig, and tool bins on the side with a pipe rack overhead. So, 454, the old Chevrolets, old school Chevrolet engine, 4-barrel. Well, we were supposed to use this special construction gate, and you could see it off in the horizon. Everybody was trying to get out the construction gate at once, and it was a line. Man, fuck that. Look, there's the main gate right there. I'm driving the truck, and the welder's hanging on in the back because he was like, where you going? Where you going? I said, we're getting the fuck out of here. He bailed off in the back of the truck after I disconnected the bottles and the welder machine. And we're heading for the main gate. There's a stupid guard out there. You can't come through here. Motherfucker, you better move. Then the 4-barrel was singing. The 454 was screaming its ass off. We're wide open. We either going to run over you, your guard shack, your gate, your fence. It don't matter. We getting out of here. Move, stupid. We went through. Bunch of people followed us. Man, it was wild. Yeah, it was scary working in there, too. You'd be working, and all of a sudden the ground would start rumbling. Almost felt like an earthquake. And you look around, and the sky would light up, boy. Something was wrong. They were venting everything to the flare stacks in the refinery. That meant they had a problem somewhere, and they had to get rid of the process, whatever it is, gasoline, diesel, hexane, who knows. So they just burn it off in the flare stack, and when that happened, it was like, oh shit, you got to be paying attention, and it's like time out, stop. Had to get hot work permits in a lot of areas before you could weld. You have to be fire watches on the ground with those big ass fire extinguishers that were mounted on the ground that could shoot hundreds of feet in case something happened to your ass while you was working in there. Yeah, well, we did a bunch of other commercial jobs as well. And we had this little crackerjack welder he would call Foul Goo. That was his name. And he'd worked offshore. He was an underwater welder. And he was funny as shit. A little coon-ass boy. He was a prankster also. He used to like to get up in these equipment rooms and hide, maybe behind some big pumps, big 100 horsepower pumps or something like that. We were doing air conditioning, pumping chill water and hot water, and big steam boilers were running, big 2,400 ton cooling capacity chillers were screaming their ass off. South Louisiana, big equipment rooms just all over for big commercial buildings, hospitals and things like that. And he'd get in a little corner, and everybody be coming in the morning, and he'd jump up, scared the fuck out of him. You little son of a bitch. He was a short boy. I got some pictures of it coming up, and but he was funny. He was real funny, and we had a lot of good times on the job. And he told us some stories. There was this one that I really remember that they'd be working underwater in the rigs down in the Gulf of Mexico. And if they were working on the vertical piping or the stands for the rig itself that's elevated above the water, they'd be welding underwater, and they would be in a diving, they'd have a dive suit on with air fed from the top. They wouldn't wear scuba tanks. And sometimes you'd be welding on the structure of the rig, and you get bumped in the back, and you turn around as a shark or a barracuda, had to take your welding rod and shock the fuck out of it. Get away from me, boy. Going back to welding, because they was attracted to that light and that sound that the arc made underwater. And they use a special kind of rod to weld underwater naturally. But he also said that they had these diving bells that they would put down, and they would cut out in a U shape, and they would set them down over an underwater pipe and pump air into them and blow the water out of them to where they could weld on the piping. And sometimes, depending on, you have to pack them off, the way you could get a good weld, because welding underwater, you didn't get a good weld as welding in air, in atmospheric, oxygen environment. But sometimes you had to weld without the bell. And if the ground was a little loose or some shit like that, and you went to weld and you got a diving helmet on with air coming into it, you can see good, with a welding hood on, you hold an electrode in your hand, and it would shock you so hard, the current would knock all the fillings out your teeth. And he said, yeah, that pissed me off, because I'd have to drink hot beer till I got to the damn dinner. You spit the fillings out in your diving helmet. Yeah, cold beer, on them nerves that don't fly. He was a trip. We had a lot of fun on those jobs. A lot of them, they had wasn't lit really well. In multi-story buildings, they had lights going down the corridors. Once they put the outside walls up and all, temporary lighting, construction lighting as it's known. And it's just it's a different environment from anything most of y'all probably ever experienced, unless you've been on a construction job, especially multi-story. That's when it gets really kind of spooky. Because they see little dark rooms. You got to bring lighting in yourself, work lighting, to where you can work in that room on whatever you've got to do. Because the electricians hadn't finished the overhead lighting, the main lighting for the room. And I got a bunch of pictures I'm going to share with y'all, and I'll kind of narrate over them. I hope you ain't fucking getting bored. A boy. Now, a lot of these mechanical rooms, right after they're built, are well lit. And then as time goes by, you may have to get on a scaffold or change out light bulbs or a high-ass ladder, and maintenance department will say, fuck it, it can just be dark over there. So they can get eerie, as they get older, and dusty, and cobwebs, and who knows what all lurks in some of these places. And it's loud. The sound you hear in the background is a typical boiler room, with chillers and pumps and air conditioning, all kind of stuff. And there's a scaffolding erected. Sometimes it's so tight you can't get a scaffolding, and you got to put a ladder up to scaffold boards across the fucking pipes, up high in the air. But some of these rooms are 20, 30 foot tall, depending on what's going on. Now, before the pipes can be insulated, they've got to be tested. And so you got to fill them full of water and pump them up with, pressure them up, in other words. See that they hold that pressure for a length of time. We usually test 1 or 2 floors at a time, and it depends on how tall the floors are. So you may have no pressure on the pipe, but standing head pressure, which if it's a 100-foot tall area or pipe, it can have 40-something PSI just standing in it with no pressure, open at the top. And if you're working on a ladder or a scaffold or something, and you got to take the blind flange apart, or the blind off to continue working, and it got water in it, you're supposed to drain the water. It can wash you off the scaffold. I've seen people get pinned to walls and get soaking wet. And if it's cold outside and you wet somebody else, you better start running, boy, because they're going to find a 2x full of something and wear your ass out. Oh, fuck yeah. Don't come wet me on no cold day. And usually the people like that, they're stupid. And you don't want to work next to them. You go work over there away from everybody else and don't come around us. It get you wet or drop something close by you. If it hits you, you may die. Boy, that piss you off to the highest level of festivity. Go find that boy and just wear a 2x4 down the size of a toothpick on his fucking ass. Remember not to do that fucking shit. No goddamn more. Yeah, this is just some old footage and stuff that I shot. Was behind that door. Uh-oh. Who knows? It's done a while back. A boy. A girl. A boy. I'm fucking sorry I left out food porn. Everybody likes pizza, right? Oh, hell yeah. How about barbecue? Boy, that's a nice rack of ribs. Yeah, I love ribs. I don't care about nothing else, but give me some ribs. Ribs. More ribs. I like brisket too. Steak's okay. Pour the ribs on, boy. Little chicken's okay too. Nice breast. Hugs and kisses. Boys and girls.